It's gone high. Just has the legs on it, yeah.
What's up guys, welcome to another edition of Sports Talk SA. This is Matt, I'm Damon, and today we're chatting about T20 cricket. What is the issue with cricket at this point of time, and where is things going? Where is T20 cricket going? Now we know that cricket has evolved over time. Started off in the test match arena, moved to the limited overs one day, and now we have the T20 cricket, which we all enjoy watching. And I remember, Matt, when T20 cricket started out, they used to give hard hats to the guy sitting in the stands because it was meant to be a big hitting, exciting game to watch. But T20 cricket has changed. It's changed over the last couple of years, and we can see this in players, and we can see this in a few issues that we've picked up. So at this point of time, Matt, we're looking at totals that are being scored. We're looking at the mindset of the players, and we're looking at why is T20 cricket not what it used to be, and where do we want to see it go so we can enjoy this exciting game once again. So like Matt, what would you highlight as issues that you can see now in T20 cricket?
First of all, the biggest issue I think so far is there's too much cricket. Now, have you ever heard someone say that there's too much cricket? I love it, you probably love it, most people love it, but it's just too much cricket. I watched the game the other day actually, Big Bash final, and the commentators were saying that a certain player, can't recall his name now, he's flying out the next day for 6 weeks, Monroe, sorry, from New Zealand.
Yes.
He's flying out for 6 weeks to the PSL, to the Pakistan Super League. And
so he's just played a league in Australia, and now he's quickly flying over to Pakistan, another league.
Yeah, his family luckily came to Australia for a few weeks. He's obviously from New Zealand, but now he's flying to Pakistan for 6 weeks. And then when he's done with that, then it's IPL time, I think.
It's IPL time, but basically what's happening now with T20 cricket is that it's become diluted.
A business.
It's become a business. There's so much of it on at this point of time. It's just diluting the caliber of cricket that we want to see in T20 cricket. The excitement. Because we're seeing totals that are being scored in T20 a 140, maybe a 150, and they're saying good total. The commentators are saying that's a good total. I can chase it down. Whereas 140 is not a good total. That's a pathetic total.
Yes, on some pitches it's a bit tougher to bat, but with the players playing every day, sometimes they play on the same pitch over and over again. You should get used to it. Now you could say, is the bowlers getting better? But also then you could say on the other side of things that these days you can kind of bat, your whole team can bat. When in the past, I think like back in the past, there was teams which number 9, 10, 11 couldn't even hold it.
Couldn't even hold it.
They used to share a bat.
Yeah.
So we can't blame it on better bowling or pitches. It's just that the players' mindsets, the tactics are just terrible. Power play, for example.
Power play.
It's just not the same. It's just the players don't have that mindset.
What should we expect from the power play? Let's say in a T20, what should we expect from the power play?
Power plays is where you score actually the majority of the runs. Well, we should score. People or players, and obviously myself in the past as well, we've had a mindset of you bat conservative and then at the end you go big. T20 is almost the opposite, I think. I think you bat faster in your power play and you go from there and you just carry on. Now, what I'm seeing in power plays, and I watched the Big Bash League, some games are good, but most of it was enjoyable. The power play scores are like 35, 36, 40, so it's like 7 runs are over, which is terrible. With 2 players out, it's not. There's no urgency in power plays, and that's the majority of the cricket should be done during the power play from a batting side.
So what would you say is a good run rate to have in a T20 game?
In general?
In T20 in general?
Yeah, if you score about 170 or and above, I think anything under 160 is not a good score. Obviously there's different levels of teams and so on, but if you were to ask me, if you were to show me, say, two average teams, 2 similar teams, and the score anything under 160, I don't think it's good enough.
I agree. In fact, you should be looking at definitely about 8 runs or over as a minimum.
Yeah, the pitches obviously vary, but like I said earlier, they play on the pitches so much that they shouldn't be wasting a lot of time wasting balls to get in 1 or 2 balls, yes, and then just go from there.
Well, we were joking earlier. I said there shouldn't even be dot balls at all in T20 cricket, and Matt's like, "Well, hang on a second."
Yeah.
But they should. I think if there's a good ball, even if you miss it and it goes through to the wicket, go for the run, push that run.
Yeah.
In T20, it's such a limited amount of time. Why not just take a risk? It's meant to be risk cricket.
I wouldn't say running on the keeper all the time. Yes, towards the end of the innings. But yes, how many times are we seeing lately where the teams end with 5 wickets in hand still?
They're finishing with a whole lot of wickets in hand. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And it happens. Now, if you look at this, let's use Proteas for an example. Where does Roboto bat? Proteas.
At the bottom.
9, 10,
Yeah.
and he can bat.
Yeah.
So that means that there's 8 guys before him or so, or 9, who can bat. Now, if they bat better than him, then you can literally lose a wicket every 2 overs. Yes, you need to get your eye in a bit, but I think that they play so much cricket, like we said earlier, nets practice before the batting starts. You know, these guys should have their eye in very quickly, and they shouldn't. I'm seeing players 8 rounds of 15 balls, 16 balls, dot balls, 4 dot balls in a row. I think this last IPL there was like the most maidens in a tournament ever I've ever seen.
Yeah. So strike rate, and the thing is, strike rate is directly linked to the player's ferocity or his tenacity or his hunger.
Urgency.
I mean, not his urgency. A good point. And we're not seeing that. If your strike rate is low, if you're getting 50 runs. And you're raising your bat, and they're going. Everyone's clapping there for you. Well done, you got 50 runs, but you did it on 50 balls or 60 balls.
Yeah.
In a T20, you only have 120 balls.
Yeah.
So if you get 50 or 60 balls, you just use the team's entire half innings to get your 50.
Yeah.
That means that the other half of the innings, what are the guys going to get?
You're right. I'm actually hearing commentators more and more saying, "Oh, good score, like a valuable 40 runs." But if you use up 40 balls,
If you're using up 40 balls, you've just used a third of the entire innings to get your 40.
Yeah.
So what is 40 times 3 to 120? Pathetic score.
Yeah.
That means what you're effectively doing is you're putting all the pressure onto the guy coming next. You're putting all the pressure onto the next batsman because now he has to pick up your slack. T20, you should, I would say strike rate of, what would you say, Matt? Definitely over 150.
Yeah, I'd say, to be fair, but over 135 or so is a good strike rate. Now, if you look at most players' strike rates overall, there's very few players these days strike rates over 130 in T20. Yes, you get the odd few, but as a whole, I'm seeing openers of strike rates of 109, 108. That's all a day. And as an opener,
In the power play.
I'm saying now that is just rubbish. Now T20 is yes, you want to score as much runs as you can, but averages aren't really important for me in T20.
No.
I don't know what you think about it. I think strike rate is more important.
Strike rate,
Yes, you don't want to have 10 guys score 10 runs or 5 balls and you score only 100 runs. Yeah, cool. But there is going to be 1 or 2 guys which will come off and bat fast and score fast. But the biggest issue is in why is there so many wickets left after? Why?
Because these teams are finishing with, with 5 wickets in the bag. Why not go big at the end? You've got a few overs left. Let's say, for example, you've got 5 wickets in hand, you have 5 overs left. You can literally lose a wicket every over. But if you're going big, there's a big chance if you start smacking, you can get 50, 60, 70, 80 runs, 90 runs off those last 5 overs.
So in T20, you can kind of lose a wicket every 2-3 overs. Yes, the guy must come in and get his eye in a little bit, but he shouldn't be taking more. I'm seeing 4 dot balls in a row, 5 dot balls in a row.
Yeah.
You cannot afford that. If you are striking, just get off strike.
Just get off strike. Get off strike. Yeah,
there should be 1 or 2 players who are going to come off and bat well, but the guys are wasting dot balls. And then at the end, maybe, yes, they try a bit harder sometimes at the end, but then it's too late. Then they've already lost. There's no momentum, first of all. The strike rates are already so low, so they must try and catch up again. And then they're ending like 140, 150. And like maybe the last 2 overs are like 20 runs off the last 2 overs, like wow, 10 runs off the last 2. And like the commentators are saying, oh, good, like what a good inning. But they should have been, from the beginning, they must go big. One must always go big in the beginning. Just
one guy must always
at
go
least
big,
1 or 2 guys.
But it comes down to the mindset of the players. It comes down to their hunger. Like you said earlier, that word urgency. There isn't a sense of urgency in cricket because these guys, like you said, they're playing so much cricket. It's just a job for them.
Yeah.
So what have they got to lose? You know, if you go and say to them, okay, listen, you're not going to make the national team tomorrow, unfortunately, what do they have to play for? Well, they've got how many other tournaments to play for, which they can potentially make far more money. So where's their hunger? Why try? It's not like in the old days where your goal was to make your national team and to play in the World Cup.
Yeah,
that's what your goal was. Now it's all about money. It's all about money. So,
as a kid, when you grow up, when you play in school, there's no money there. It's pure passion and enjoyment, and club level to an extent as well. cricket's become a job, and it's just a financial business, if you want to call it. Just money's being pumped into cricket, and you must get a tournament a month. So the players don't have Indian really to look forward to so much anymore. Like the fans are like they play and like they don't score a lot of runs. It's not like they're gonna just lose money because they can just go play now in like different tournaments.
Yeah.
If eventually you get dropped, you can just go to a different tournament. Like there's not like the it's just like I just don't see that same hunger. Like it's like a big game all the time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we can see the issues that's going on at the moment at T20. Wickets still in hand, where there doesn't have to be. Far too much cricket being played. Not targeting the power plays. Poor strike rates. Poor run rates. The mindset of the players is just not up to par. But Matt, the solution. You know, I've got two solutions for the guys. It comes down to player mindsets and coaching mindsets. And I know it's basics, guys, but player mindset. If you wake up in the morning and you're going to play a game that day, it should be the number one thing. You should. It just looks like you said earlier. It's just a job for the guys. You know, there's no hunger. Player mindset is number one, and then coaching mindset. Coaches give the guys a chance to be able to play like they want to play.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in the coaches at the moment, but we're seeing players get poor scores match after match after match, and they're kept in the sides. We're not seeing. I don't know if they're too scared to discipline the guys. But we're seeing these, once you've got a big name, you're in the team for life, and that's it. And it's, you know, why not bump the guy down to domestic level, let him go get his eye in it, bring him back, a better rotation.
Yeah.
You take football, for example, Matt. In football, you know, you've got different teams playing in different leagues. In cricket, you've got your one team. Rotate the guys. I mean, Matt and I were talking, we watched IPL, we had a couple of favourite players in IPL, and we'd never see them play the whole IPL, they're on the bench.
Yeah.
Rotate the guys. Let the guys come on.
Even when the team was losing.
Even when the team is struggling. Those world-class players are sitting on the bench. Or you've got guys who are youngsters who want to prove themselves sitting on the bench.
I just think also, we can't say it's all players and all teams with the same mindsets. It's just the majority, and it's taken over. And if you look at cricket as a whole, or T20 cricket as a whole, there's just too much of that. Yes, there's a few players who hunger, you can see, and urgency, but it's not enough. It's not all of them. It's not like it was in the past.
It's not like it was in the past, and that's what we want to see. We want to see a change, a mindset change once again in T20. We want to be excited for T20 again. That's what we want to see. So these are the problems that we've highlighted. The solutions are player mindset, coach mindset. Get that urgency back. Get that hunger back. Look at the basics. Look at your power play. Look at how you target. Look at how you sub your guys, bringing in new talent, old talent, how you're managing the players. Look at these things, and we need to change cricket, get it back to what it used to be, where they would wear that hard hat in the audience because you were scared that ball's going to hit you. Whereas these days, you're just not seeing the boundaries anymore, you're not seeing the hunger.
I think the other day I saw 2 sixes in the whole innings.
2 sixes in the entire innings in the T20. Come on.
Anyway.
So guys, that's all for Sports Talk SA this time around. Thank you for watching. Please click the like button, press subscribe. We're going to be doing more previews, reviews and interviews going forward, making the channel better and better every time. For now, cheers.